I woke up in the hospital. White ceiling, beeping machines, the smell of antiseptic. My hand went to my stomach. 7 months pregnant. Was the baby? She's okay. A nurse appeared beside me. Your daughter is fine. Strong heartbeat. You're both very lucky. Lucky. I'd fallen down 14 stairs, 14 concrete steps, while 7 months pregnant. And we were lucky. Then I remembered. I didn't fall. I was pushed. My mother-in-law, Catherine Hayes, stood at the top of those stairs, her hands on my back, her voice in my ear. You should have stayed away from my son. Then the push, the falling, the impact, the darkness. Where's my husband? I asked the nurse. He's been here the whole time. Let me get him. Minutes later, James walked in. His face was drawn, exhausted, scared. Thank God you're awake. They said you might have a concussion, that the baby might... His voice broke. James, I need to tell you something about what happened. You fell down the stairs at my parents' house. Mom said you tripped. I didn't trip. Your mother pushed me. His face went blank. What? She pushed me. I remember. We were at the top of the stairs. She said I should have stayed away from you. Then she pushed me. James, she tried to kill our baby. Emily, you hit your head. You're confused. I'm not confused. Your mother pushed me down the stairs while I was pregnant, and I'm going to prove it. That was 3 months ago. Today, a detective knocked on Catherine Hayes' door, and everything I'd been planning was about to come together. If you've ever had to fight for justice when no one believed you, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything to me. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Would you press charges against family? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. My name is Emily Hayes. I'm 30 years old, or I was when this happened. When my mother-in-law tried to kill my unborn child and almost succeeded. I met James Hayes 4 years ago. He's a financial analyst, stable, successful. We met through mutual friends, dated for 2 years, got engaged, got married. His mother, Catherine, didn't approve from the start. I'm a social worker. I work with foster children. It's meaningful work, important work. It doesn't pay well. Catherine made sure I knew that. Social work, she'd said at our first meeting. How charitable of you. James could have married someone with a real career, but I suppose love makes us overlook things. Real career. My work helping traumatized children wasn't real to her. The Hayes family had money, not billionaire money, but generational wealth. James's grandfather had built a successful insurance company. His father expanded it. James worked there too, being groomed to eventually take over. Catherine saw herself as the matriarch of this dynasty, and I was the wrong-class intruder who'd trapped her son. She told people I'd gotten pregnant to force the marriage. We'd been engaged for a year when I got pregnant, married for 6 months, but Catherine needed her narrative. She knew what she was doing, I'd overheard her tell a friend at a family party. Got pregnant right away, locked him down. Now we're stuck with her. James defended me, sometimes, when he heard her, when it was too blatant to ignore. But mostly, he asked me to understand. She's protective. She'll warm up when the baby comes. I didn't think she'd warm up, but I didn't think she'd try to kill us either. It happened on a Sunday afternoon in March. James and I had gone to his parents' house for lunch, a regular family gathering, his father Robert, his sister Michelle, Catherine playing hostess. I was 7 months pregnant, starting to show significantly, moving carefully, tired easily. After lunch, I went to use the bathroom upstairs. The guest bathroom on the main floor was being renovated. Catherine had insisted I use the one upstairs. It's perfectly safe, she'd said. Just be careful on the stairs. I should have known then. Catherine never showed concern for my safety, never asked how I was feeling, never acknowledged the pregnancy except to make comments about how I was carrying all that weight. I used the bathroom, started back down the hallway toward the stairs. Catherine appeared at the top of the staircase. Emily, I'd like a word. Of course. She moved closer. Her voice dropped to something cold and sharp. I want you to know something. When this baby is born, she'll be a Hayes, not yours, not really. You're just the vessel, the incubator. James will raise her properly, with our values, our standards. You'll be sidelined, the way you should be. Catherine, that's not how this works. That's exactly how this works. You tricked my son into this marriage, got pregnant to trap him. But you won't have power in this family. I'll make sure of that. I didn't trap anyone. James and I love each other. Love! She laughed. You think love matters? This family has survived for 3 generations because we make smart decisions. James made a stupid decision marrying you. I'm ensuring that mistake has limited damage. I turned to walk away, to go back downstairs, to tell James we were leaving. Catherine grabbed my arm, pulled me back to the top of the stairs. You should have stayed away from my son. Then she pushed, both hands on my back, hard, deliberate. I felt myself falling forward, tried to catch the railing, missed, tumbled down 14 concrete steps, hit the landing. Everything went dark. I woke up to screaming. Michelle's voice. Oh my God, she fell. Someone call 911. Catherine's voice, carefully distressed. She was coming down the stairs. She must have tripped. These stairs are so dangerous. James's voice, panicked. Emily? Emily, can you hear me? I tried to speak. Couldn't. Everything hurt. My stomach, my head, my back. The ambulance came. Paramedics. Questions I couldn't answer because I was fading in and out. At the hospital, they checked the baby, monitored her heartbeat, ran tests, scans, checked for injuries. Miracle. That's what they called it. I'd fallen 14 stairs while 7 months pregnant, and both of us survived. Bruised ribs, concussion, sprained wrist, but the baby was okay, protected somehow. James stayed with me, held my hand, looked terrified. When I woke up fully, I told him the truth. His mother pushed me. It wasn't an accident. It was attempted murder. He didn't believe me. Emily, you have a head injury. Memory can be unreliable after trauma. My memory is fine. Your mother said I trapped you into marriage. She said I'd be sidelined when the baby came. Then she pushed me down the stairs. Why would she do that? Because she hates me. Because she thinks I'm not good enough for you. Because she wanted to hurt me or the baby or both. My mother would never... Your mother did. I remember her hands on my back, her voice, everything. Mom said you tripped. Of course she did. What else would she say? I pushed my pregnant daughter-in-law down the stairs? James looked torn. Between believing his wife and believing his mother, I saw the moment he chose. Let's just focus on recovery, on the baby. We can deal with family issues later. Later, not now, not when it mattered. I was discharged 3 days later. James took me home, was attentive, caring, but avoided discussing what happened. Catherine called him daily. I could hear her on speakerphone. How's Emily? Is the baby okay? I'm so sorry about those stairs. I've told Robert we need to install better railings. She was building her narrative, the concerned mother-in-law, the dangerous stairs, the tragic accident. I decided to build mine. First, I called a lawyer, Margaret, specializes in family law and assault cases. Tell me everything. I did. The push, the conversation before, the history of Catherine's hostility, the fact that James didn't believe me. Do you have any proof? My memory. That's not enough. Not for criminal charges. Not with a head injury on record. Defense will say you're confused, traumatized, misremembering. So she gets away with it? Not necessarily. We need evidence. Was there anyone else in the house? James's sister Michelle, his father Robert. They were all downstairs. Did anyone see what happened? I don't think so. But the house has security cameras, interior and exterior. Margaret leaned forward. Security footage would change everything. Can you get access? James has access to his parents' security system. They installed it last year. Cameras everywhere. Would he check it for you? I thought about James's face when I told him about the push, the doubt, the discomfort, the choice to believe his mother. No, he won't. Then we need another approach. Over the next 2 weeks, I researched Colorado law on assault, assault on a pregnant woman, evidence requirements, statute of limitations. I documented everything. Every hostile comment Catherine had made over 4 years, every witness who'd heard her disparage me, every text message where she'd questioned my fitness to be James's wife. I contacted Catherine's friends, neighbors, people who might have heard her talk about me. Most were loyal to her. Some weren't. One woman, Patricia, a former friend of Catherine's, agreed to meet me. Catherine's always been controlling, Patricia said, with James especially. She couldn't stand that he married you, said you were beneath them, common, gold-digging. She was obsessed with the idea that you'd trapped him. Did she ever say anything violent, threatening? Patricia hesitated. A month before your accident, we had lunch. She was ranting about you being pregnant. She said, that baby will tie James to her forever, unless something happens. Unless something happens? I asked what she meant. She just smiled and said, pregnancies are delicate. Things go wrong. I thought she was being callous. Now I wonder if she was planning something. Would you testify to that? If it came to it, yes. Catherine's gone too far. I gathered more evidence. Medical records showing the severity of my fall. Expert testimony about falling downstairs while pregnant. How rare it is to survive without serious injury. And I waited. 6 weeks after the incident, I made a decision. I needed that security footage. And if James wouldn't help me, I'd get it myself. I called Michelle, James's younger sister. She'd been kind to me, sympathetic, less under Catherine's control. Michelle, I need to talk to you, in person, without telling James or your parents. We met at a coffee shop. I told her everything, the push, the conversation, my suspicions that the security footage would prove it. You think Mom pushed you on purpose? I know she did. And I think the cameras caught it, but I can't access the footage. Your parents control the system. James won't check. I need your help. What do you want me to do? You have the access code to their house, to their security system. I need you to get that footage before your mother deletes it, if it still exists. That's asking me to go against my mother. Your mother tried to kill my baby, your niece. If the footage shows I'm lying, I'll drop everything. But if it shows the truth, your mother needs to be held accountable. Michelle looked at me for a long moment. Okay, I'll do it. But if this blows up our family, it's already blown up. You just don't see it yet. 3 days later, Michelle came to my apartment. She had a flash drive. I got it, the footage from that day, all the interior cameras. Emily, you need to prepare yourself. You watched it? I had to make sure it was the right file. Emily, it shows everything. We sat on my couch. I plugged in the flash drive, opened the file labeled March 15th, upstairs hallway, 2:30 to 2:45 p.m. The video was clear, high quality. Camera mounted at the end of the hallway, pointing toward the stairs. I watched myself come out of the bathroom, walk toward the stairs. Catherine appeared from the master bedroom. Audio captured everything. Catherine, Emily, I'd like a word. Me, of course. Then the conversation. Every word I'd told James, every threat Catherine made. You're just the vessel. I'll make sure that mistake has limited damage. Then me turning to leave. Catherine grabbing my arm, pulling me back to the top of the stairs. Catherine's voice, you should have stayed away from my son. Then the push, both hands clearly visible, extended, making contact with my back. The force obvious, me falling, tumbling down the stairs, hitting the landing. Catherine standing there for 3 seconds, looking down. No attempt to help, no scream for help, just watching. Then walking calmly downstairs, her voice changing to distressed. Oh my God, Emily fell! Someone help! The video ended. I watched it 3 times. Michelle watched with me. By the 3rd viewing, she was crying. I can't believe she did that. I can't believe Mom actually pushed you. Do you believe me now? I'm so sorry. James should have believed you. I should have believed you. Oh my God, she could have killed you both. She tried. The question is what we do about it. I took the footage to Margaret. She watched it once, looked at me. This is clear evidence of assault on a pregnant woman. In Colorado, that's aggravated assault. Felony. This is prosecutable. What do I do? You go to the police, File a report. Give them this footage. They'll investigate. Likely arrest Catherine. The DA will decide whether to prosecute. And James? He'll have to choose. Support you or defend his mother. Either way, your marriage will change. I thought about that. About James's face when he didn't believe me. About 3 months of him asking me to let it go. About the fact that his mother had tried to kill our daughter and he'd called it a tragic accident. Make the call. I'm pressing charges. Margaret contacted the Denver Police Department, explained the situation, provided preliminary evidence. They assigned Detective Laura Martinez to the case. Detective Martinez came to my apartment the next day. Professional. Thorough. She took my statement. Watched the video. Mrs. Hayes, this footage is compelling evidence. I'll need to verify its authenticity, confirm the date and timestamps, ensure it hasn't been edited. But if this checks out, we have a strong case for felony assault. What happens next? I'll compile the evidence, interview witnesses, review your medical records, present the case to the DA. If they agree to prosecute, we'll obtain a warrant for Mrs. Catherine Hayes' arrest. How long will that take? Few weeks, maybe a month. These cases require careful documentation. Will you tell her you're investigating? Not until we're ready to make an arrest. Element of surprise prevents evidence destruction. Over the next 6 weeks, Detective Martinez built the case. She interviewed. The paramedics who responded documented my injuries. Hospital staff confirmed the severity, the miracle of survival. Patricia testified about Catherine's threats. Michelle confirmed the footage was authentic, unedited. The security company verified the system's reliability. Medical experts explained how rare it is to survive such a fall while pregnant. She reviewed the complete security footage showing Catherine's demeanor before and after, my medical records, extensive injuries consistent with being pushed, text messages between Catherine and her friends disparaging me, discussing the pregnancy, my documentation of 4 years of hostile behavior, and she prepared the arrest warrant. 3 months after the push, Detective Martinez called me. We have the warrant. We're executing it tomorrow morning. I wanted you to know. Thank you. Mrs. Hayes, when this becomes public, there will be fallout. With your husband's family. Possibly with your husband. Are you prepared for that? I've been preparing for 3 months. The next morning, Detective Martinez and 2 uniformed officers knocked on Catherine Hayes' door. I wasn't there. But Michelle was. She'd positioned herself at her parents' house, wanting to witness it. She called me 20 minutes later. They arrested her. Right there in the doorway, read her rights, handcuffed her. Mom was screaming about lawyers and false accusations. Dad looked shell-shocked. They took her to the station. How do you feel? Scared, relieved, angry that it came to this. But Emily, I watched that video. I know what she did. She deserves this. James called an hour later, furious. What did you do? I pressed charges against your mother for pushing me down the stairs while I was pregnant. You had her arrested? The police arrested her, based on evidence, security footage showing exactly what I told you happened. What footage? The footage from your parents' security system, showing your mother pushing me. Every word of the conversation before. Every second of the fall. Everything I told you that you didn't believe. Silence. James, I gave you 3 months to believe me. To check that footage yourself. To take my side. You chose your mother every time, so I chose our daughter. I chose justice. I chose to protect us from someone who tried to kill her before she was even born. You're destroying my family. Your mother destroyed this family when she pushed me down the stairs. I'm just making sure there are consequences. I hung up. That was 6 months ago. Catherine was charged with felony assault. Her trial is next month. The prosecution has the video, the witnesses, the evidence. Her lawyers tried to get it dismissed, claimed I was lying, that the footage was edited, that I'd fallen on my own and blamed her. The judge reviewed the evidence, denied the motion to dismiss. Catherine is facing 5 to 15 years in prison if convicted. James and I are divorced, filed 3 weeks after the arrest. He chose his mother. Even with video evidence, he claimed I was vindictive, that I'd destroyed his family over an accident captured on camera showing deliberate pushing. My daughter Grace is 4 months old now, healthy, beautiful, perfect. She'll never meet her grandmother Catherine. Not if I have anything to do with it. Michelle is her aunt. She visits, babysits, apologizes constantly for not believing me sooner. Robert, James's father, sent me a letter last month. He'd reviewed all the evidence, watched the footage. He apologized, said he'd been blind to who Catherine really was, that he was testifying for the prosecution. My MIL pushed me down the stairs while pregnant. 3 months later, a detective knocked on her door, and the woman who tried to kill my daughter is finally facing justice. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.